look at what we learned last time. Okay? Can you remind us what we learned last time? Yes.
Let's talk about atoms, elements, and compounds.
Talked about atoms, elements, and okay. Now, what exactly when we talk about all elements, all elements of substance, what do we mean? Yes?
An element is a trace substance which cannot be broken down into simple particles.
Very good. Can you go on next? Next. Good. So, there. Yes? I think what you will say is what? This? It's matter. Is it? We learned about what? Okay? Who can define? Who can tell us what matter is? What is matter? Yes?
It is anything that has mass and occupies space.
Repeat?
Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space.
Good. Can you give that do you remember? Can you give us some examples? Some examples of what matter is? Yes?
Wood.
Is it?
Wood.
Wood. Yes?
Ice.
Ice. Okay, now where we are seated now, do we have their matter? If it is there, then touch it and then raise it up. Very good. So those are matter, isn't it? Yes? So what you have touched, what you have raised up there, matter. Okay? Now, so exactly now, what is now the difference between the elements then compounds? Just remember. With
Element is substance which is made up of one material. While compound is a compound in a substance which is made up of two substances.
okay, good. Yes, you have another idea?
An element is a substance which can be broken down into simple particles by chemical means, while a compound cannot be broken down by chemical means.
True? Yes?
An element is a trace of substance which can be broken down into.
Speak aloud, repeat and speak loud.
An element is a trace of substance which can be broken down into small particles by physical means. While compound is an element a compound is a trace of substances which is made of two or more substances which cannot be broken down by physical.
Great. Okay, nice. Okay, can you clap for these people? Good. Now, the last one. How do elements differ from each other? How do elements differ from each other? What is the difference? How do they differ? Yes, there is.
Some elements are metals, others are non-metals. Some elements are also isotopes.
Difference between the elements? Yes?
Elements can differ according to their atoms.
Very good. They differ according to what? Good. Next. Now, okay. So, there we have the key question. Okay, so what are we going to now? What are the main components of what? So exactly what are we going to learn? What are we going to learn? Yes?
We are going to learn the main components of an atom.
Okay? Yes?
We are going to learn components and compositions of atoms.
Components and composition of atoms. Someone else? Yeah?
We're going to learn the structure of an atom.
Very good.
Learn about atoms, components, and compounds.
Atomic elements and compounds. Okay. Yeah.
We are going to learn about atomic structure and its composition features.
Fantastic. Oh, all the answers that they have given, they are correct. Okay. It's all about what is composed. What? Composed of, huh? All right. Good. So, the main components of what? Atom. Do you know them? So let's go to the next. Then this is our main objective. We should end our lesson, after this lesson, should be able to do what? To name the difference of atomic what? Subatomic or subparticles of an atom. And they are what? Okay? Then, let's first do some observations there. The first one. There is no voice. You're going just to observe and then. So, have we learned something? Have we learned something? Okay, can you now do some answering? Let's first on the. Good. So, how can you describe the main components of an atom? After observing that video, how can you explain the main components of what? Of the atom. Yes. I was actually waiting for many of you to tell us what. Right? Yes, please.
An atom is made up of a nucleus, whereby in the nucleus in front of there are protons, as we have been seeing. Inside the nucleus there is also neutrons. Protons are positively charged, neutrons are neutral, and around the shells in front of there are electrons which are negatively charged.
Someone else? Maybe you have a different idea. Yes, Camila? Speak loud.
Protons are positively charged, neutrons are, they don't have any charge, and while electrons are negatively charged. And in the nucleus, the nucleus contains protons and neutrons, and around the shells there are electrons.
Good. Is that true? Why can't we clap for them? Good answer. So for more explanation and understanding of this part, there's something that we're also going to pray there. Thing that will show us exactly the atom. Okay? Right? So let's try it. Let's try it. Good. Yes. What do you see? Do we have those baskets? They contain what? Good. So they are, from the video, they've told us the atom is made up of both protons, neutrons, and the electrons. Okay? So we're going to see if exactly do that one work. Okay? So this is how we want to verify if what actually we frame this one. This is kind of game, but which is also involving what? Learning, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay? So what goes in the nucleus? What goes in the nucleus? Yes? The protons and the
Neutrons.
Okay, good. Good. What happens now? Look at it. They formed an element. Very good. Which element that is formed? Yes. Yes. Hydrogen. Why? So what happens when? Okay. What else? Oh no. Wait. What else are you observing there? What else are you observing there? There is? Why? Which child? There is which child? Positive. Yes. Now what happens again?
That's a neutral.
Add more protons, more electrons. Okay. More protons. Yeah. Which element? What? Yes. Protons and protons and electrons. Try all those to add protons, electrons, protons. Good. That one is which looks like. How does it look like? Yes. Also add neutrons. And then electrons and then which element now we have there? Boron. We also talk about the charge. Which element is that?
Carbon.
Does it look like? How does it look like? How does it look like? Carbon? Neutron. It is? Why? Which one is that now? Good. So what do you see there? See? You see? What do you see there? What have you observed? As you were adding protons, neutrons, and electrons to that structure, what were you observing? What have you observed? Yes, ma'am?
If the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons, the atom becomes neutral. And if the number of protons is less than the number of electrons, or even more than the number of electrons, then the atom may be either negatively or positively charged.
It becomes negative when?
It becomes negative when it gains and it becomes positive when it loses.
Someone else? Someone else? Yes? Talk about when we were playing that, what was happening?
When we were operating that one, some elements were neutral. Atom becoming neutral because the number of electrons and the number of protons are equal to the number of neutrons.
Good.
There on first shell, we have seen on the first shell was 2 electrons. On the last shell, there were 5 neutrons. And that on that shell, the number of electrons they can gain in order to become stable. It is unstable.
Okay, good. So, yes, miss?
As I have seen through those electrons as protons and neutrons, there is the losing order without protons.
Yes?
I observed that when the more the number of electrons change, the elements also change. They don't have the same.
Speak loud.
The elements don't have the same electrons or protons.
Good. So elements do not have the same protons and neutrons. Okay? They don't have the same protons and neutrons. Yeah. Right, good. What's that? No, no, close that. Yes, that one, close it. No, up. That one. Yes. So we got the next one. Next there. So like that. So that is what? Is that? Yes? What is that? Yes.
The structure of an atom.
The structure of who? What is there? How does it look like now? Observe it, please. Yes? Speak loud.
There is a nucleus, protons, and electrons.
Yes. Someone else can describe it? Yes?
Nitrogen.
Okay, good. Yes?
As you can see, that atom is not stable because, as we know, on the first shell, there must be 2 electrons, and as you can see, there are 2 electrons on the first shell. Then, on the second shell, there must be 8 electrons, but then.
Good. So what are the main now components of whole atom? Who can read for us? Yes?
The components of the atom are known as subatomic particles known as protons, neutrons, and electrons. Within an atom, protons and neutrons are found in the central location called nucleus, while electrons are found around the nucleus in levels or shells.
Good. That is the structure of the atom. Yes? Right. Next. 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 Good. So, what are the components of the components of who? Yes? And this part, yes?
An atom has a nucleus.
An atom
Has a nucleus.
Good.
An atom is made of electrons, protons, and neutrons.
This part.
An atom has three components.
Have three? What are those? Yes?
Electrons, neutrons, and protons.
Good. So there we have the structure of who? The atom. Right? Have the red colors, have the blue one, have the green. Okay? You see, the red colors don't have any charge. The green color have the positive. The blue color. The green one have what? Negative. So meaning the negative particle is the electron. The positive, which is blue, and it is, and the red one there. So that is the structure of who? And matter is made up of. Matter is made up of what? Matter is made up of who? Atoms. Matter is made up of atoms. So every substance has those particles. Okay? Good. Now, what were the characteristics of these particles? Okay? Can you go back? Okay? What were the characteristics of these particles? Okay? Can you have this discussion with? Yes? Yes? Have you done? Yes. Yes.
One of the characteristics of the atom can be its mass, its charge, and its location. And when we talk about the characteristics like protons and lots of
Maybe. You write. So just to say what of these they have this guy.
protons are the subatomic particles. They have a symbol of P. Then we can even add its charge with their positive charge. Yeah, and its charge is positive. Then it has mass, so it has one as its mass. And protons are located in the nucleus. Then we can also talk about electrons. Electrons have a symbol of E, and they have a charge of a negative charge. So its charge can be as negative. Then electrons don't have mass. You can also write that they have mass of 0. Then electrons are located around the nucleus in the shells. Yeah, in the shells.
Yes.
The electrons can also be found around the nucleus in the cells.
Yes.
And we can also talk about the neutrons. Neutrons have a symbol of N, and neutrons don't have a charge, so you can put here as 0. Then neutrons have mass of 1, and neutrons are located in the nucleus.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you clap for her? So next. Good. So that is the structure. So this represents the structure of what? That is what the class talked about. So those are the correct. Who can read for us? Yes. You go.
A subatomic particle consists of characteristics, charge, mass, and symbol. The number of protons equal to the number of electrons. Therefore, the atom is considered electrically neutral. The number of protons differentiate an atom from another one.
What differentiates an atom from another atom? Yes. So we have there the exercise that we are going to do. Can you draw the diagram that illustrates and label? Just pass. Just you hurry up and then we have to finish. You only have 3. Have 3? No, 2. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. Let me tell us what you have drawn there.
Here have drawn the structure of an atom, whereby as we have seen that an atom contains nucleus. Inside the nucleus, as you have seen the picture, have seen that it contains protons. Here I wanted to show you difference of protons and neutrons. I used different colors in order for you to know what are the protons and what are the neutrons. As you have said, the protons are presented here by red color and neutrons are presented by blue color. I have seen that neutrons are positively charged and neutrons are neutral. I have seen also that we have the shells, and around the shells we have electrons which are negatively charged. So this is the structure of an atom. Anyone who doesn't understand about it can ask me.
Good. Can you clap for her? Thank you. Good. So next, anyway, wait, you got the clip there for the answer. Good. So that is what you're supposed to draw. And actually, you've drawn it here. Yes? You see the number of electrons on the shell, they are equal to the number of what? Protons. Yes? So look inside in the nucleus, then you look around the shells. Alright? Good. Back. Good. A question? Good. So we have this activity that we're also going through. Okay? Can you do it now? There. Do it. Now. Yes, very good. Let's do this. Okay, can we get who have finished? Have you finished? Okay, good. Okay. Can you have this? Good. Question number 1. What does it say?
What are the components of an atom? The components of an atom are the protons, neutrons, and electrons. And then the second question says, explain why atoms are electrically neutral. Atoms are electrically neutral because protons are equal to the number of
Very good. Can you clap for Sheldon? Good. Good. Very good. Fantastic. Right. Can we? What are other answers? Other questions? What are other questions? So, in time, with time, let's look for the answers. What have you got? Can someone tell us? Yes. There, where is it? What is the answer for question 3? Given an example, represent drawing. Okay, yeah, correct. Good. Very good. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, have we seen the answer? Is that what you got?
Yes.
Is that what you got?
Yes.
All right. So, next. So, we'll. Who can read for us? Those out. Yes. Yes. Amen.
Protons, electrons, and neutrons are the main components of an atom.
So, what are the main components of the atom? Good. Next.
Protons and neutrons are located in the nucleus, while electrons are found on the inner levels around the nucleus. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutral.
Good.
The atom is considered electrically neutral because the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons.
Very good. So that is, so how can you summarize what you have learned? How can we summarize? Someone else can summarize. Yes, please.
As a summary of what I've learned, I've learned that we have learned the structure of an atom. I have learned that it's made up of a nucleus. And inside the nucleus we have protons which are positively charged and neutrons which are neutral. I have seen also that around the shell we have electrons which are negatively charged.
Good. So we have that exercise. So we have this one. You're going to take it and do it. Can you copy it down? Yes? So you're going to do that? Come on. So you can stop. Wait, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. All right? Can you clap for yourself? Because you are that is the end of our lesson. So we can leave. So you can go. You will do the homework and your free time. Yes? Yes. Good.